This is going to be a television show that will air on public television, Channel 20. And you are part of a live taping of that television show.
Violence is obvious when you go to war. But the question is, why are you going to war?
The troops on the ground are not trained for peacemaking. They're trained to kill, to search and destroy the enemy. They're not trained to turn that mechanism off from one month to the next because policymakers are meeting in Chicago to change that.
NATO is not only a military, it's a political organization, it's also a societal organization. What about enhancing issues relating to social responsibility?
The military can provide a force that allows for growth and economic prosperity and peace without being deployed.
Would you believe that 2 weeks ago the head of the Russian military, Nikolai Makarov, said if the U.S. and NATO continues their missile shield in Europe, we may have to launch a preemptive attack against them? No, this is a nightmare we've got to wake up from. We've got to demand demilitarization.
Is there common cause among us based on our differing perspectives?
Fewer and fewer people in society have a direct connection with the military. And some people say, well, that may make them hate the military. Actually, quite the opposite is true. People that have not had military experience often come to love the military too much because all they see is what they see from a distance, and without a texture of understanding how horrible, we all know, and you more than me, how terrible military service can be. And people tend to look for military solutions when there maybe not be a solution. But at the same time, there are some times when it's absolutely necessary. You need to be prepared. You need a powerful military.
You know, you look at what they're talking about in there, and they're talking about using military might to bring economic justice or economic prosperity to a country. And can you say that to the families that are getting killed? Can you say that to the families that are getting bombed? You can't say that. You know, I've seen these families. I've seen dead children, and I don't want to see that anymore.
I think NATO is a very useful organization. Sometimes it is necessary to threaten or to actually use force to achieve just and moral aims. Other people do not see it that way, and I respect their opinion, I just don't share it. Getting out of there precipitously would be a catastrophe. It would destabilize Pakistan. It would cause a humanitarian catastrophe, I think, in Afghanistan. So whatever the arguments about going in or what we did, it matters how we leave.
The overwhelming majority of people in this country oppose the Afghanistan war. The overwhelming majority of the people of Afghanistan oppose this war. And yet this government, including the Obama administration, refuses to debate whether or not the troops should come home. Instead, they waste our time with stupid parties at the museum campus for all the rich generals who are probably fat enough already.